Oceans have risen 9 inches in the past 30 years, and sea level rise is quickly accelerating. SeaLevelRise.org predicts that sea levels will increase at least 14 inches by 2050, but it could be much more under extreme conditions. According to Malibu officials, places that are especially vulnerable to flooding are Broad Beach, Las Tunas Beach, the area near Malibu Seafood, Zuma, Thornhill Broom, and the historic Malibu Pier. Some experts say it's already too late to prevent sea level rise, and the only solution is to move inland. But those currently deciding public policy are scrambling to keep the sea at bay.
Do we want an elevated PCH? Or do we want to deal with sea level rise now and start addressing it?
We reached out to 35 businesses and sent letters to 154 homes about this issue. The one resident who responded to our letter declined to comment, but the few businesses we did reach seemed unaware of the coming danger. Tatum Leon, a manager at Taverna Tony's, said, "No, I'm not concerned about it, but now that you bring it up, I think it is something I should be concerned about, but I don't know a lot about it." But some homeowners are already taking action. Broad Beach homeowners have spent nearly $15 million to set up a rock seawall to protect their properties from crashing waves. They are also trying to bring in sand to replenish the beaches they have lost, a project that could cost almost $20 million every 5 years. Councilmember Zuma J proposed an offshore reef to break up waves and slow down the erosion process. He says this is a much more cost-efficient solution compared to the millions of dollars spent on seawalls and sand. This concept worked at the Santa Monica Pier, where the reef protected the beach and helped it accumulate more sand.
The sand will fill in behind those rocks up to the homes. And that science has been proven time and time again.
While seawalls can last up to 50 years, they erode the beach faster and eventually have to be replaced. The City of Malibu is also looking into other solutions. City officials have already waived the fees for a restoration project through the Bay Foundation. Karina Johnston has been working with the Santa Monica Living Shoreline Project to restore natural sand dunes as barriers in an effort to combat sea level rise.
People have been engaged with it really in a positive way. I see people walking and reading the signs and taking pictures. And also, perhaps most importantly, the coastal resiliency is improved.
This prompted the Bay Foundation to start a living shoreline project right here in Malibu, over a $250,000 task.
The whole project footprint is about 3 acres with the primary goal of improving coastal resiliency, and it also in hopes of providing benefits and values to wildlife.
The project primarily focuses on Zuma Lagoon and Point Dume Beach. Malibu's environmental sustainability analyst is also conducting a coastal vulnerability assessment.
And that is looking at the coastal hazards in Malibu and looking at projections for sea level rise and storms and seeing how those will impact Malibu's resources.
This assessment will cost over $200,000, but experts say it will help officials evaluate how much sea level rise will impact the area.
As Malibu and other cities and the state moves forward, you're going to see a lot more money spent on better understanding coastal erosion and things that'll go into preventing it.
Experts say that they can only prevent the inevitable for so long.
We always thought that we had a buffer, a period of time where we could fix it before it becomes unmanageable. That time is gone.
Simmons supports the concept of managed retreat, saying that moving people and assets away from the coast is the only long-term solution. Governments can move toward accomplishing managed retreat by buying out houses and preventing residents from rebuilding along the coast. Malibu City Council members Peake and Wagner say that buying out houses with taxpayer money seems unfair, and residents need to recognize when it's time to walk away. Councilmember Pearson also added that although managed retreat is possible, there isn't a financial model to deal with it yet, and there would be massive issues. Mayor Farrer says the state would be in charge of managed retreat, and while it's not needed yet, anything is possible in the future. Christopher Duran, a sustainability professor, agrees.
There are no long-term solutions that are really viable for us because it takes a tremendous amount of money to build seawalls and to change infrastructure to deal with this.
Experts say many residents don't support the concept of managed retreat.
Because the idea of retreating inland seems like giving up, and particularly people that have beach homes don't like the idea of giving up their views.
Sea level will continue to rise unless humanity returns to the source of the problem.
The planet can only support so many people in such a way, in such a lifestyle that we're accustomed to.
People around the world need to take on the broader issues of climate change and global warming by reducing greenhouse gases and becoming more energy efficient.
We should be getting off fossil fuels as quickly as possible or finding ways to reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Until people take these steps, sea level is going to rise, and temporary solutions will not be enough.
That's the challenge of messing with Mother Nature. She seems to always win.